Good morning, good evening, good afternoon everybody. I hope you can hear me over the wind. I didn't fall off the roof after all, and now it's daylight. I thought I'd show you a bit more of my magnificent roof. But the subject matter for today is I saw an article in the Daily Mirror that apparently, allegedly, they say, insiders say, Harry wants to move back to the UK with his kids. Meghan not so keen on the idea. I can understand why. And I was just wondering what you guys make of that. Now, there's, I don't know if it's a lady or a gentleman on X who comments quite frequently, a Meghan supporter, quite nice person, reasonable. And they often say to me, oh, you just clickbait and you clicked it. Well, they're articles in newspapers. And they also say to me, do I wonder where my newsfeed comes from? You know, because it's kind of catered, isn't it, to each person, that Google throws up what they think you're interested in. So I thought I'd answer that point, because it's a valid point, actually. We can all be horribly misled by Google throwing up articles and information that Google thinks we want to hear. So I thought I'd address that and explain what I do. I use the same phone every day. I just put Prince Harry or Meghan Markle in the search, and I go to news, and then there's tools, and I go to last hour, last 24 hours. Oddly enough, there have not been very many puff pieces. And also, I'm getting other people showing up on a search under Meghan Markle's name who have nothing to do with her whatsoever. I really hope you can hear me over this wind. I'll try and shield you with my body. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting articles on some people who got married who didn't know each other. It's a TV show or something. I'm getting results on all kinds of weird and wonderful characters. The Rebecca Vardy, Wagatha Christie thing. I'm getting a lot of stories about Mrs. Rooney. I can't remember her first name. God. So I don't know. In answer to the question of the person on X, and I know they will comment on this because they comment on most videos, as to what type of articles. But I mean, when you say clickbait, these are news organisations or entertainment magazine, kind of online magazine things. They're going to write about public figures, aren't they? The interesting thing with the Mirror, right? Anyone who's not familiar with the UK press, the Mirror are left-wing, Labour Party. So they're quite different to the Daily Mail. And I have noticed over the last year that when the Mirror, and they do stick up for Harry and Meghan quite a lot, when the Mirror says an insider who knows Meghan and Harry said, then generally that comes true. So it does make me wonder if their team or they themselves are in touch with somebody at the Mirror. Bear in mind also Harry is suing the Mirror, I think something to do with the phone hacking. But in the same breath, I'm sure even he has worked out that he has to work with the media to a certain extent to get certain messages out. Yes, I did see that apparently they landed in America after their short break on a desert island, which looked like it wasn't occupied by anybody else. But there's something funny about that photograph of them from behind, especially Harry. So I'm not convinced. I mean, maybe I'm just turning into a doubting Thomas, left, right and centre. But I can imagine that Harry would want his children to know their family members. Even if Meghan doesn't want them to know her family members, I can imagine Harry beginning to feel guilt that the little ones, they don't know anything, do they? It wasn't their decision to leave. They don't know what's going on, and that maybe they'll grow up and they'll think, what did we do wrong? Why were we banished? Not that Harry and Meghan were banished. They left, allegedly, of their own free will. I still think they were kicked out, actually. But I have no evidence of that. So yeah, I can well believe it. And I suppose he would be homesick for the odd pint and stuff. And he'll have to buy his own place. I mean, it says that in the article. I'll put a link in the article. I've already put one on X. So I'd just be interested to know what you guys think. I'm guessing a lot of people are going to feel let down, animosity towards him, especially, you know, with Philip dying and then the late Majesty dying. That's going to take some time, isn't it? So anyway, getting back to my roof, which I know you've all been sitting on the edge of your seat waiting to see, and I've been calculating the drop down to the water. I don't think it's quite 30 feet. It's probably about 20, still too high for me. Anyway, so the plan is I've bought all this really thick, high-grade marine ply, and I'm literally making it like a jigsaw puzzle and piecing it together. I've got a few more pieces to do, and then I've got to varnish it. I've got to take each piece out, varnish the underside, varnish the edges, put them back down. Then I've got to put filler in all the little cracks, so it's like it'll be a big smooth, it'll look like one unit when it's done. And then when I've got all the filler in, I'll put varnish over it. And then the plan is to fiberglass it, or I might use a 2-pack paint, which my boss uses on the dolphin boat. I might have sunglasses on, but I can see you there. What you up to? Are you going to come up and admire the work?
I've already admired it. I just don't want my hat to blow away.
Oh, right, I'm going to film it now.
Okay.
Oh, without falling off the boat. That'd be classic, wouldn't it? If pissed up, I'm fine, and sober, fall off the boat. So those darker bits are the bits that I started. Look what the bloody seagulls did to my roof. Anyway, and then these are the new bits. So I'm quite pleased with that. And this thing here, this was the mast. That was the mast. That's like steam light. I think the nav lights were on the top of that. And what we're planning on doing, because it's got this thing in the middle of the roof that it was bolted onto, is turning that into a cocktail table. And I'll have some chairs. And yes, I will screw the chairs to the roof, just to be on the safe side. And yes, the plan is to have a railing all the way around eventually. Where did you get that hat? Where did you get that hat?
Smart, this hat. Clint Eastwood eat your heart out.
It's got all air breathers as well, and your head.
It is. It's like mesh all the way around, so your head doesn't get too hot. The wind can blow right through.
Oh yeah, because years ago, when I was doing the quayside sails, I bought a hat, a bit like that. Do you remember? It was a red felt one. And I wore it for about an hour. I suddenly felt really sick and faint, and I more or less collapsed on the quayside. And this fella came up to me and he said, "Take that hat off. It's July, it's the hottest month. If you wear a felt hat, your brain overheats." And he said, "That's why you're fainting." Oh my God. So yeah, it's a good job you got a bit of mesh in there.
It's really good.
Are you
really chuffed with it.
You up for a bit more jigsawing today?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Enthusiasm.
Well, we've got those cuts to do in the middle. One here.
Yeah.
A little bit over there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hello.
Anyway, so there you go. Do you think? I think Harry's going to move back to the UK. I think he'll buy a property there. I reckon he'll get a farm or something like that out in the countryside, where he can avoid people. That's what I think he'll do. And then at least he'll be in England, so he can try and talk to his family, who I don't think is speaking to him at all. I think it's all going through lawyers. Anyway, as always, look forward to hearing your thoughts, opinions for the day. Thank you very much for listening.